Okay, so since we're still missing a few people, I'll just start with some quick announcements. Questions before we get started? No? Okay. We had talked about the cultural language, or the language partners, which was only for certain languages. It was for Arabic, Chinese, Japanese, and Spanish. That's tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Did anyone send an email and decide to do the language partners? DJ's going to lead us in the warm-ups today. Then we'll do an improv activity. Good morning. We will review our quizzes, talk about character study journals, start Unit 33 in the textbook, and work on your cultural stories in groups. So we have a lot to do today. So let's get started.
Now, relax your whole body. Put the arm at your side. Relax. 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 Your body feels so light, so powerful, so free. It's between your ribs and the hips. This part of our body just touching it. Like together and
like the chair thing?
yeah, they can stand up. 1, 2, 3.
They can try to stand up.
You can try. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And once they successful, add up.
I will kill somebody.
No, yeah, maybe you and
So first 2 people who want to try first. Okay.
yeah, that's probably a good idea. Preparing.
It is one thing to spring, I think.
Yep, good. You got it that time. Okay, so what the confusing thing here, I think we have the combination of the TH and the S, which is what can be confusing for some people because you will either tend to make them all THs or you will want to make them all S's, one of the two. So it's kind of hard to switch back and forth. Really think about putting your tongue between your teeth on the THs, and for sing, where's your tongue for the S? Where is it? Behind your teeth, yeah. Is it touching anything?
No.
No? It's what? It's just a little bit behind the teeth, right at the top of your mouth. And for the TH, it goes between. So you really want to exaggerate and kind of stick your tongue out a little bit for the TH. So let's try that one more time. DJ, lead us, and then I'll do it after you.
1, 2, 3.
It is a fine thing to sing in spring, I think.
Who want to try it?
Yeah, we need some volunteers.
It's a fine thing to sing in spring, I think.
Okay, now we're getting a different issue with you, Omar. We've got sing in spring. So okay, can you try not to release the G on that? Just try say everybody repeat sing.
Sing.
Spring.
Spring.
Good. Okay, we don't want singa springa. Okay, try that one more time.
Thing
Thing.
thing to sing in spring,
Good. Much better.
I think.
Yes. Think you do want to release. Sing in spring. You do not.
It's a fine thing to sing in spring, I think.
Good. Much better. Okay.
1.
It is fun thing to sing in spring, I think.
One more time, but the TH on the end for think.
It is fun thing to sing in spring, I think.
Good. Better. That's why we're going to try to do an example. So can somebody just volunteer to do an example with me? I promise you won't die.
Okay.
I won't bite you. Okay, but they can go on. So our particular situation is that we are teacher and student. Boywan is the teacher. I am the student. Okay. Now, who would like to be the MC or the person that says ding?
I would say ding.
Okay, so anytime you say ding,
Mm.
you say it after a line or after an action, the person has to repeat what they just said, but in a different way.
Ah, okay.
Or they can say something completely different. Or they can add a completely different action, but it cannot be exactly the same as they just did it, okay? Does that make sense? So we'll just do a quick little example.
Okay.
So we two have all have to switch our character, or only?
No, both of us. Both
both
of us.
Okay.
Mhm.
Action.
They don't sleep. Of course not. No, what did I say before?
I don't know.
Ding.
I'm not sure what you said.
Oh, I see. Yeah. What did I say before? Who knows? Oh, okay. Anyway. So,
Ding.
I'm sorry. I just come to class late
Ding.
today. I didn't drive today, so I come to here late. So I'm sorry, student. So
I wrote a
what
lot
should
of questions on your paper in terms of really thinking about going to the next level of observation. So we've looked at sort of this basic kind of observation, but how do we go to the next level? So we'll take a look at observation a little bit, okay? This is what we did, I think, this time. Observation, just strict, plain observation. And what does it mean again to observe?
Watch.
Watch, good, okay. We want to try now, or aim for detailed observation. So the questions that I asked you on your paper were more in-depth, more details about the person, okay? Because once we have an extremely detailed observation, we can imitate, okay? What does it mean to imitate? What is imitation?
Copy.
Copying, okay? Okay, so theoretically,
Copycat.
if you make a very detailed observation of someone, you should be able to imitate them. Imitation leads to acting. Because basically what actors are doing are imitating emotions or feelings that they have seen other people do, or they are recalling or remembering emotions that they themselves have had, and then trying to reproduce those, okay? So really, observation leads to acting. It's sort of an indirect route, but that's how we get there. I'd like to look at just a picture and talk about what the differences might be between detailed and just general observation. So if we're looking at this picture, what do you notice? What's an observation?
In character?
Yeah, what do you notice about her?
She's bored.
She's bored. Okay, that's an observation. Okay, now a detailed observation would be her hand is under her chin. Okay, her fingers are curled in, and if her chin is resting heavily on her palm, indicating to me that she is bored. Okay, so really describing in detail what the person is doing. Okay, what might be another detailed observation about this particular person in the picture?
Her mouth.
Okay, so her mouth, something is happening with her mouth. That's an observation. What would be a detailed observation? What is she doing with her mouth?
She's
The corner of mouth goes up.
Up?
Down, sorry.
Down. Okay, so the corners of the mouth are turned down. What else does it look like she's doing?
moving. It's like
It's moving to one side, so her mouth is over to one side. What else?
maybe because she's leaning.
Okay, because she's leaning a little bit, it could be pushing it over to the other side.
Mhm.
Okay, these are detailed observations. And this is what helps us to imitate, okay? I think she's maybe also pushing her lips out a little bit.
Yeah.
It looks to me like they're maybe pushed out a bit. What else? There should be maybe two more things to really notice. So what I would like you to do, okay, is with the person sitting at your table, I would like you to imitate this face, okay? One at a time, okay, so one of you at a time, and the other person has the ability or the capability of sculpting you, okay? What's a sculptor?
Copy.
What is a sculptor? Do you know?
Sculpt. It's the art when they,
Yes.
yeah.
It's the kind of art, okay, where you make a statue. Okay, so you take a piece of stone or clay and you make it look the way you want it to. So, for example, Shuya's doing this, but you know, I'm noticing that her lips really need to be turned down. So I can sculpt her. Her eyebrows need to come up. Okay, so you can sculpt the other person. Okay. So one at a time, imitate. Really make this face. Okay. I'll turn the lights out so you feel a little less self-conscious. How's that? And there you go. You can really see her, and you know that's the way thing when we're trying to observe. We want to be able to notice the details that allow us to copy. That's the purpose of the journal. Okay. So what I would like you to do, those of you that have them back, try answering those detailed questions. Okay. Bring the detailed observations back to class with you, let's say Thursday, okay? And I'm going to ask you to imitate the person that you observed. So Unit 33 is stress and unstressed words and stress patterns. So first I kind of wanted to think about maybe some things that you already know about stress. What are some rules that you know for syllable stress? Where do you put the stress in a word? How do you know? How do you decide where the stress goes?
Where I need to put it.
How do you know where you need to put it? How do you know in a word?
Usually, noun or the syllable stress on the first.
Usual long words usually have the first stress.
No, I think I said noun.
Noun usually has the stress on the first syllable.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that usually has the stress on the first syllable? I think that was our first rule, Shuya. Let me see. Yep, stress on the first syllable. Rule. Most two-syllable nouns. Okay. So if there's a two-syllable noun, generally the first syllable gets the stress. Do you remember this? You should have learned this at some point. Yes? Okay. What if it's a one syllable?
That's it.
It has to be stressed, right? It's the only syllable, it has to be stressed. Okay. Other things that get the stress on the first syllable. Why is this not fully down? Okay. Most two-syllable adjectives also. Okay. So if you have a descriptive word like present, slender, clever, happy, okay, the stress is on the first syllable, right? Does this sound familiar? Okay, what things get stress on the second syllable? Verbs. Most two-syllable verbs have the stress on the last syllable. Okay. So what's the difference between this and this?
Present.
Present, right? So repeat after me. Present.
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 Okay. Present.
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 The meaning is different.
The meaning is different, in fact. One is a noun or an adjective, and one is a verb. Okay? What does this one mean, a verb? Present. Have you ever made a presentation? What are you doing when you are making a presentation?
Present.
Presenting, yes. So what does that mean?
So
Show, demonstrate. Okay, good. Yeah. So where you put the stress can change the meaning of the word. Same thing when we get into looking at where we put the stress in a sentence. So now we can look at where stress goes in sentences. Okay, where are the patterns? Right. Words in a sentence are either content or function. So I'm looking here at the list in the center. So what I would like you to do, we're going to have people, it's a swirling vortex of content and function words. So exciting. I love the swirling vortex. I would like you to come up, grab one, and drop it in the vortex where you think it belongs. So Omar, you may go first. Come on up. Grab one and drop it where you think it goes. You got to, hold on. Sorry. Switch to the, here we go. Okay, go ahead.
Let me.
Nope. You're gonna erase now. Okay. Thank you. Yes, you want the arrow. Okay.
So everything can be clear.
Okay. Drop it down a little bit more.
It will go inside. Oh wow!
So if you are correct, okay, if you are correct, it goes away. If you are incorrect, it's going to kick it back out at you. Go on your next.
Up.
We're going to get the hard ones left, I think. Yes, you are correct. Good. Okay. I found a really nice video talking about stress, which words get highlighted in a sentence, and just a general review and overview of stress. So we will watch that quickly, and then we will go ahead and talk about highlighted words and do exercise 1.
Stressed words or syllables are higher in pitch and usually longer in duration. Reduced syllables are syllables that are lower in pitch and usually very, very quick. For example, in the sentence, Dad's at the bank. Dads and bank are both higher in pitch. They are the stressed words in this sentence. Dads at the
That's pretty
bank.
much it in terms of the explanation. So kind of piggybacking on that or talking a little bit more about that, at the bottom where it talks about on page 161, highlighted words, okay? Highlighted words. Who can read that short little mini paragraph there for me, please? Where it says in most sentences.
In most sentences, one content word is the most important. This word is highlighted by pronouncing it with the heaviest stress and usually highest pitch.
Good. Okay, so for example, we have, here are the keys. Repeat, here are the keys.
Here are the keys.
What's the important word based on that sentence? Keys. Okay. So we'll take a look at some sample ones and see if you can predict where the stress is going to go. So what is going to be the highlighted word in this sentence? Usually it's going to have the heaviest stress and the highest pitch. So you really have to think about which is the word that's the most important here. There's going to be more than one content word in each sentence. But what's the one that's really communicating the main idea of the sentence or the most important thing to the person who's listening? So with your partner, okay, take a look at these 5 sentences and decide which word you think should be the highlighted word in each sentence. Which word is the most important? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you think? Canada.
American.
Good. Yay. All right. Everyone said Canada. Why?
It's the only important.
Purple.
It's a place. Yeah, it is a place.
Purple.
Purpose?
No.
What's the purpose? What do you mean purpose?
We took a trip.
Yeah,
Where?
exactly. We took a trip.
Where?
Yeah, you're gonna want to ask where if the person doesn't say. So where you went is definitely, I think, the most important or highlighted word in that sentence. Number 3. Let's start in the middle this time. What did you guys think about this one?
Lately. Better.
Weather.
Lately.
Weather.
Horrible.
Horrible.
We seem to have a disagreement. Okay, I would like to hear
Be
somebody,
horrible.
whoever said weather, I want to hear you read the sentence.
The weather.
You guys said weather,
No,
correct?
lately.
You said lately. You said weather?
Yeah.
Okay, read it for me.
The weather.
One more time after we get the laughter out of our system.
The weather has been horrible lately.
Okay, so the weather has been horrible lately. Okay. Who said lately? You guys?
Yeah.
Somebody read it for me.
The weather has been horrible lately.
But you wanted to. Look what happened when you read it.
Oh.
What did you want to stress?
Weather.
Weather. You wanted to stress weather. Okay. So I'm going to take one away from lately. Okay. Anybody else lately? The other latelys? You want to? Somebody read it for me.
The weather has been horrible lately.
Okay. I heard weather being stressed there. Didn't you? I did. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm taking away lately. Now, depending on how you pronounce it, okay, how you read the sentence, I think horrible could also get the stress.
Yeah, we could do the same.
The weather has been horrible lately.
Oh, the weather has been.
Or the weather has been horrible lately. So I think either one of those could get the stress depending on how you're reading it. Let's try both ways. The weather has been horrible lately. That was horrible. The weather has been horrible lately.
The weather has been horrible.
Yes, you're really stressing that horribleness. So the purpose for the rubber band, okay, is to help us figure out the stress and to pronounce the stress, okay? Some of you have a little bit thicker ones, which are better, but I could only find so many thick ones this morning. What you're going to be doing is you want to pull the rubber band on the stressed syllable because it helps you to lengthen the syllable when you're speaking, okay? So you have the rubber band in your hand. Okay. Number one, you would do this. Volunteer. Okay, so do that. Volunteer.
Volunteer.
Pull the rubber band. Did you do it? Volunteer.
Volunteer.
Good. Okay.
Volunteer.
We would pronounce everything in that column with the same pattern of stress. So which syllable got stressed? Tier. So which number syllable? Third. The third syllable. So we know for all of those phrases, we're going to stress or pull the rubber band on the third syllable. So who was here? Take a break. Use the rubber band to really help you pull it on the syllable that's supposed to be stressed to help you lengthen it and increase your pitch. So if you need to go up with the rubber band to help you bring your pitch up, that's fine as well. Okay? Give it a try with your partner.
Volunteer.
We don't have a lot of time left. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Yeah, I know, we have 5 minutes. Which is not enough to really open up the computers and turn them on. So here's what we're going to talk about. I would like you to finish your script, please.
We didn't even start it.
I know, outside of class, together. And bring it with you tomorrow. And here's how you're going to do it. It's actually quite simple. You only have to do 2 pages total. So if you break it down, that's half a page per person in your group. Really not that much, okay? That's like 5 lines, not a lot, okay? The easiest way to do it is to do a collaborative document, or you can send it back and forth to each other via email, or you can do it on Edmodo, whatever. But I think the easiest way to do it is with Google Docs. Have you guys ever used Google Docs before?
No.
Or otherwise Crocodoc. Let me show you that one because it's free. If you don't necessarily have to have an account. So this one, crocodoc.com, okay, you can view it and make changes to the same document, okay, and then you just have to all go to the same address, all right. Alternatively, you can use Google Docs, and I'll show you how to do that.
Just never ask.
Okay, so if you go to Documents, okay, you'll see that there are things there. You can create a new document, okay, and then you just have to, like, for example, type our group's script, okay, and then all you have to do is one person has to create it and just share it with the other people. Okay, you can send them an email, or you can pick them from, you can add them here with their email addresses, okay? So this is probably the easiest. You could all get on email at the same time. You could all get on Edmodo at the same time. You could Skype each other. You could get each other's phone numbers, whatever. But I would like you to please have your script. Thank you. It was a good class today. I will see you tomorrow, and we will start practicing our cultural stories.
Can I have another band? I'm just
Oh,